Greetings, Minecrafters! I am Nate T. Bird, and welcome to my Jump Arena developer commentary. In this series, I will be explaining the thought process behind what I did in my map Jump Arena. Now, previous developer commentaries that I've done have been basically just me playing the map, and so I want to change that. I want to focus this time more on explaining the thought process. So without further ado, let's get started. So right here we have the lobby. Now my thought process behind this is that I wanted a place to display the information that the player needs before they actually start the map, and I also wanted to add these parkour jumps just because, well, it is a parkour map, so while you're waiting, maybe a friend's taking a little bit of time to join you, you can just jump around and have some fun. And then there's also the resource pack in case you didn't have that. It explains the settings before you actually start playing the map, and then it explains the map, and then you can start playing the map. So once again, it's just displaying all of the information that is important to the map itself. And not gonna lie, this is actually the last thing that I built in the map. I often don't think with the start in mind. I usually just build the map and then say, okay, great. And then once the map is finished, I say, I actually need to tell the player how to play the map. And then right here we have the tutorial. I just wanted to have a neat little way to introduce all of the different blocks and explain what they do and how they work. This was also one of the last things that I did in the map. Again, just because I didn't really think about actually teaching the player how to play the map until the map was actually finished. But one thing is that these click for infos, previously these were actually just the click for block info. It didn't say the name of the block. And then one of my testers actually pointed that out, that it's kind of confusing and I should put the name of the block. And so that's what I did. And I also tried to color the name according to the color of the block. So the multi-jump is yellow and the checkpoint is, well, it's blue. A lot of people really enjoy the double jump, and I am actually fairly happy with the way it turned out as well. What's happening is I'm placing a barrier block underneath the player. That's the basics of it, but I'm actually summoning armor stands below the player, and then the armor stands are placing the barrier block, and then they get killed after a few ticks, and it just, there's a bunch that happens with the multi-jump, but I wanted something that was a little bit more interesting, and a lot of games do have double jumps, and so that's what I sought to do. I went and decided, hey, we need to create a multi-jump. Trampoline, this one's just fun. Just slime blocks, but then I give jump boost based on how far the player is away from the slime block. So that's that. And then the cannon. This one, I thought it would be a really cool idea, and it is kind of a cool idea, but it doesn't work as properly as it should. Like right there, it blasted me extremely high, and I don't know the cause of that. I'm summoning creepers, but I should only summon one, but for some reason it summons two or whatever. It just explodes really far. Now the coins. I wanted a way for the players to be rewarded. So when they complete jumps, they can get these coins, you step on it, and then it changes it to a different block. However, it's the same type, the pixel art is the same on the block, except for there's not a coin, and it's a little bit darker. So it just looks like the coin has been removed, and I think it's a neat effect. So once you finish the tutorial, you can jump into the map. Now, I actually forgot to reset the map after I did some testing. So this lobby, it used to be a lot smaller, so the ceiling was lower, but because of the fireworks, I decided to raise the ceiling up. I added the strange little line thingies later because the walls looked very boring. But the basic idea behind the lobby is to provide a hub for the player to to do whatever they need. So if they need to upgrade, they can do that here. If they need to go to the levels, if they want to get to the bonus levels or particles or fireworks or whatever they need to do, everything will be here. So this is sort of like the waiting area per se. And also right there, you might have seen that I just got an achievement, the baby steps achievement. I wanted to add custom achievements just because I felt like it would be a little bit too boring if all it was a parkour map to where you just jump around. But having these customized achievements make it seem more in depth. And so I really wanted to try to figure out a way to add the achievements, and I did. And these are the achievements. And there's a few different categories for the achievements. So like distance traveled, jumps, and like fall time, stuff like that. And there's just different levels. So this is the level 1 distance achievement, and there's like 4 or 5 levels. Excuse me. And so I just wanted the player to have maybe a little way to track their progress, and also to gain a little bit of extra, anything really. All right, this is probably everybody's favorite part, the pictures on the walls. You walk into it, and it teleports you to the facility, or to the arena. Now, what this is it's actually carpet. So I wanted a unique way of teleporting to the arenas. I've done where you step onto a thing and then you get teleported, or you click on a sign and then you get teleported. But I wanted to make you like be able to know exactly where you're going, because facility says the name and then it also displays the picture. So what this is once again, it's just carpet, but I've remodeled the carpet to where it displays a block that is too tall and very thin right there on the back side of that wall. And then I just changed the texture of that block, or that model that it displays, to be a picture of the arena. And so when I step into it, it seems as if you just walked into a portal of some kind to get to the arena. Now the facility. This facility used to look a whole lot different. Originally, it was just quartz. So imagine this place, just quartz. Yep, same shape, but just quartz. Yeah, it was pretty terrible. So one of the last things that I did was added a theme to this place, because, well, the hub is the quartz, and so this place should be different. And I just decided, hey, let's try a factory or a facility, something like that. And I actually ended up making some textures that I'm pretty happy with, to make the theme really come to life. So first off, I just did the really simple jumps. I don't want the map to be difficult, so I made a lot of the jumps very simple. Like this one is a 4-block gap, which would be difficult usually, but then I give the speed boost so it becomes easier. Jump boost, this right here is only needed to get up to that secret really. For now, it's unimportant. And I'm not going to be doing all of this on camera. I'm going to probably be skipping some parts just because it's a little bit boring. But right here, you jump onto this and you're like, oh, multi-jump. Oh, I need to go over there. Well, actually, if you want to get a secret right away, just double jump up to here and there you go. You're good to go. That was supposed to be a secret, but because I tested, I got that secret and it's no longer a secret. I don't know why I didn't just download a fresh version of the map. Oh well. So yeah, you can get some early coins, early secrets, whatnot up here. Just jump off to reset. And then you come over here, and it's just a lot of simple jumps with a little bit of variation in the fact that there's block effects, but I didn't want it to be too complicated. And already right here, I'm failing on the easiest jump ever. Jumps that are like this, where they're 2 blocks or 3 blocks wide and 2 blocks up, are hard for me, or 1 block up actually. And so also the frequent checkpoints. That is a critical design point. I don't like parkour maps. for the reason that when I make progress and then I miss a jump, I have to start off at the very beginning. And so I decided to make this map fun, I would put very frequent checkpoints. So, like, there's a checkpoint there, here, there's one around the corner. It's just, there's checkpoints everywhere. And so that's, well, yeah, that's the key point of this map is checkpoints and also coins for fails. Because I don't like failing, and I know a lot of people are not that great at parkour, and so they fail a lot. But if you're rewarded for failing, then it doesn't really matter. Also, this was supposed to be a secret. I wanted more secrets that were easily obtainable with just a little bit of exploration to try to encourage the player to explore. Now, it might surprise you to know that a lot of people just completely ignore that and they just continue on. So they never find that secret until they come back to this level. And that is another point that I want to make. Just let me get to this checkpoint over here. Hold sprint when you're on that, okay? That's how you get here. Yeah, another point is that the checkpoints allow you to return to the hub. Now, this is because of these upgrades. I designed this map so that you're supposed to play the levels multiple times. So right here we have some different upgrades, and we can already get an upgrade. So why don't we upgrade multi-jump and also... yeah, we don't have enough, and it tells us not. So we upgrade them, and then we can come back, and then we can make it a little bit further in the map. Right here, just go, boom, get that, fall off, get that. I don't remember exactly. Yep, I can make it. So right there, it says that particle selection has been unlocked, which is wonderful. Because that's a secret, and yeah. Let's return to the hub. Let's check out the secrets. So what happens is, as soon as you do find a secret, it appears on this wall, and so that's kind of like the first thing that the player sees. Now I have to explain this a little bit more. Is that I wanted the player to discover as the map progresses. So what happens is when they first enter, they're like, oh, this is just a big blank place. They see the upgrades, they're like, okay, cool, and they see the levels. Great. But they don't really know that these things over here are anything. They probably like, there's an indent right there. That's kind of weird. And so it surprises them when they upgrade or when they find particles. And so they're like, oh, cool, there's secrets. And then there's a whole bunch of particles that they can unlock. So they figure... okay, well, I guess that I can find more secrets and gain more particles. And so it also tells you that you should find new secrets. But then they continue a little bit further, and it unlocks a bonus level. And so that bonus level appears right there, and they're like, oh, wait, there's some bonus levels. And so then they realize that these might be something, and then they find fireworks, and then this appears, and so it just keeps the player on edge or interested or excited. So that's what I really like about this map, is that as you progress, you discover new things, and it transforms this lobby a little bit more, and you discover new things. You didn't even know that existed. Also, that right there becomes the stat sign, and so there's just a lot of discovery to the map. A lot of people try to wonder how to get that secret. Well, we've got to get some upgrades later. Yeah, I think I'm going to complete this level off camera, and then I will be back when I have finished. And actually, I'm going to do this level a few times off camera just to gain some extra coins, so that I can upgrade even more. Okay, I farmed the facility a few more times, and I got enough coins to unlock the next level, which we're not actually going to do this level. A lot of people think it's in order, but it's not. You can unlock whichever levels you want whenever you want. So most people do it in an order, but I didn't want that. I wanted you to be able to say, forest sounds interesting. So you choose the forest or stronghold or whatever. You can choose whichever level sounds the most interesting. So I also have enough to get a few upgrades. I'm going to upgrade the coin multiplier because, well, now we get twice as many coins. And I'm also going to upgrade, let's upgrade trampoline because we're going to be using that in this next level. And let's just upgrade everything. So we're going to do this next level in the next episode. This video is a little bit short, but hey, that's fine. We'll do probably 4 episodes, 1 for each level, and maybe 1 for each of the bonus levels, just so I can talk a little bit more about the level specifically. So to wrap things up, let's just take another look at the facility. So facility, I was thinking it needed to be something simple, a training ground, sort of, and it's essentially just a very smooth, clean parkour course. You just go through the course and then you complete it. And there are secrets, there are different hard-to-get places that maybe make you wonder how to get there. And as you progress, as you gain upgrades and whatnot, then you can find the secrets. So that is the facility. So thank you very much for watching, and have a fantastic day.